fight's not over.
Stop the fight!
People.
Everybody, I come here for everybody. Kill everybody. I'm the champ. I'm the king. Kill everybody. Ah!
All right, guys, welcome back to Broke Bets. Lane here with you. Of course, got my co-host with me, Carson, as always.
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Trying to continue a win streak. You know, we're on a 3-card win streak if you count from last year. Coming off of a almost sweep on the Ankalaev and Walker card. Trying to have a nice night again here. We got 4 bets here. I don't love many of the over-unders and many of this, so we're just looking at mostly money lines here. So let's just get right into this. We got Ramon Torres to start this one off at plus 155. I'm just doing a 0.75 unit bet because this is a UFC debut for both guys. I thought they matched up very well on the Contender Series, but I just do think that Ramon brings the X factor in this fight with his boxing. And I think Saidi, where he's good, he has good cardio, good length, good kicks, maybe a bit more MMA diverse in his skill set. I do think Tavares just has better boxing, and he was hitting him quite a bit in the Contender Series. And I do think he just takes him, clips him at one point, and we find a knockout. But what do you think here? Yeah,
Tavares was having some success in their first fight. He had some nice straight punches, left straight especially. He was piecing him up, and then obviously he got caught, and then the early stoppage. But CD leaves his chin up there, and I just feel like Tavares will be able to find that chin and knock him out.
Yeah, I mean, my worry as well would be that maybe Tavares, he did get knocked down by a jab in that fight, but sometimes that seemed like the really 1 or 2 clean punches he took in that fight up until that point, and then the early stoppage, of course. But then cardio going late is a big question, so can Ramon keep up his boxing style for more than 2 rounds, because he's known as a finisher? We'll see, but the odds we got him, plus 155, that's kind of what I've seen the highest he's ever gotten for a number. Obviously, he's floating around the plus 150 mark, so still easy to dive on that line. So next bet, Chris Curtis at minus 165 for 1.25 units. Chris Curtis is just going to be a tier above here, Marc-Andre Barriault. The boxing, Barriault just gets hit quite a bit. You look at his fights against Julian Marquez, Eric Anders, these guys, he's getting hit heavy in the first round. And I think that Chris Curtis also, Mark likes to rush into action and likes to clinch, and I think Chris is just strong there with body shots and counters that he can put Marc-Andre down. So what do you think here?
Yeah, I feel like this is a big step up in competition for Marc-Andre, and I think Chris Curtis's boxing will be the difference here. Works the body, has pretty good defense as well. I mean, and I think this is a good stylistic matchup for Curtis as well. Andre will be pushing that pace, and I think that plays into Curtis's game here.
All right, next I got Arnold Allen beating Movsar Evloev. I'll be honest, man, I hear a lot of the hype about Evloev, and some of it is warranted for sure. He's a great grappler, also a great striker, just very fluent in his movement, but there's just something missing from his game. It's like, the lack of finishing ability is a serious flaw in my opinion. And his gas tank, where it's still good, it's not excellent. And guys like Hakeem Dawodu started to piece him up in round 3. Doesn't make me feel good. Even Dan Ige had some decent moments where he was able to, get out of wrestling exchanges. Obviously, he beat up Dan Ige pretty well, but Arnold Allen just with heavy power, and I think he has a strength to get up from the wrestling here. So if we're looking at a fight that's going to be back and forth on the feet, I think Arnold, with more competitive experience when facing, Max Holloway, Sadiq Youssef, Dan Hooker, Cater for a round, I think that plays into this factor, or plays in here. And Arnold Allen as well, people are going to really judge that Max Holloway loss, that he fell short. Well, it's his first 5-round fight against the best possible 5-round fighter in maybe even UFC history. So I didn't blame him too much for that performance. I thought he actually did pretty well at some moments. But But I like him here. I think he's gonna do more damage to Mopsar and win a decision. What do you think?
Yeah, that was also against one of the best boxers as well. And this is a big step up in competition for Evloev here. Allen's shown that he can do damage, and we'll see if he can get up from those takedown. But yeah, I mean, he should be doing more damage here in this fight here.
Yeah, I'm curious how the grappling will play out. It seems like Evloev, like, he's not somebody who's just going to sit on somebody the entire fight. He kind of uses a grappling as a mixture of his striking. He's kind of like Bilal Muhammad. I'm not trying to say he's exactly boring like that, but they both kind of use their wrestling and striking in a similar way. So, anyway, moving down. Final bet. I got to do Sean Strickland. I just feel like the more and more I analyze this fight, I just keep thinking, like, you know, I don't like to bet on someone who's just like, oh, well, it's Dricus catches him, or it feels like Sean's going to win the rest of the fight. And I just don't think, I don't think that's with the odds given, I think Sean should be a larger favorite. I got him at minus 140. His line dropped back now, so you guys need a better line shopped on it right now. But I just feel like, I feel like Sean's just going to make this fight honestly look kind of easy. I know I'm not discounting Dricus because everyone knows how he can win this fight. It's by one punch. And, you know, the thing is, Dricus will go for it. This won't be like a sparring match for Strickland, but as soon as the fatigue sets in, and I know there's this thing with the deviated septum everyone likes to bring up with Dricus, but, like, he's using a lot of muscle power in his fights, and he's breathing through his mouth, so, like, he's still breathing, but he's just obviously not doing it all through his nose in the past. The Darren Till fight doesn't, like, rub well for me, where he's exhausted in round 2 after some grappling. And if he gets tired in this fight, he can't really shoot for a takedown because he does get more tired, so I'm on the Sean side. I know you are different here.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a toss-up fight. I mean, it could go either way. Obviously, the line indicates that as well. I mean, I agree. Sean Strickland has more paths to victory here. I mean, if Duplessis wins, it's probably it's most likely a 1 or 2 first-round KO. But yeah, 3, 4, 5 should be Sean, and decision should be Sean. So yeah, I think he has more ways to win. But I'm not discounting Dricus here. I just feel like he's proven people wrong so many times, especially the Whitaker fight in this last one. So yeah, he's tough to read, in my opinion.
Yeah, I have a weird thing too with Sean where I kind of thought that he would get knocked out by Cannonier, and then in that fight, you know, he defended a lot of the strikes, and it was a kind of a slower fight. And then I thought he would get at least leg kicked to a decision by Izzy, so I've underestimated him as well in the past now, and then he came out and did his thing too. I mean, I'm also looking at a live bet in this fight for Strickland. Obviously, they're going to keep the number real close for the rounds 1 and 2, I think, just because they know that Sean's going to pull away if the fight goes further. The real question is, I think if you see Dricus using all of his strength early, like if he gets a takedown in round 1, bet Strickland. Like that's what my honest opinion is. Like that takedown will slow him down enough where the line is going to move in favor of Dricus, and Sean, you'll get him at a better number, but it's actually hurting Dricus in that situation, at least in my opinion. But
yeah, I mean, that's typically how read Sean Strickland fights. I mean, especially in the Abus fight. I mean, it was, just looking at Magomedov's fights, you know he gasses out. So if it's if Strickland gets out of that first round, I mean, he's pretty easy money from there on out. So I definitely got to look at those live odds, especially after rounds 1 and 2.
Right. And Extreme Couture is on fire right now. Just Las Vegas MMA too in general. There's so many good fighters there, so many good sparring partners. Obviously, mentally, I do think, you know, Dricus is obviously a champion's mindset. I wouldn't say Sean's a champion's mindset. But I think in a fight scenario, I think against someone who's going to get tired, it's Sean's type of fight. But Other bets, were anything else you were looking at? I know I was looking at Jillian Robertson by submission, but I'm just gonna stay away. There might be a top control bottom game type of fight.
Yeah, I mean, her line just got way too high before any of those props came out. But no, I mean, I don't really love much of this stuff this week, especially the over-underers. I mean, I was looking at them, but I don't really like many of them here. So
yeah, I mean,
definitely a tough card to bet on.
I'd say like two other underdogs that maybe looked at would be like Sean Woodson and Sam Patterson, possibly. I mean, I picked Johan Linnes and we picked Charles Jourdain, but I think the lines are maybe more of a pick'ems for both of them. So
yeah, exactly, and that's the thing. Like if Johan Linnes is winning, it's by first round KO most likely. So
right,
if it gets out of that first round, Patterson could work some of that grappling and start taking over. But yeah, I mean, it's a interesting fight there. I'm staying away personally, but
yeah.
All
right. Stay tuned, guys. I know we got a week off after this week, so hopefully we'll just get that bets video to you guys, like, I don't know, maybe even Thursday, like a week directly from now. And we
will have some bets on the Patreon though. If you go there, we will have some early bets there and beat some line movement.
Yes, sir. All right. Anything else?
Nope.
Peace.
I know. It doesn't matter from the trenches. I'm built like this. The old doubted me said I couldn't do it. The old said I couldn't do it. Look at me now. 11